Easy money promises make money. It's a business in itself. Something I see being touted on here, X and TikTok again and again is the dream of passive income, where you start a super easy side hustle, maybe using AI to generate some digital products or some illustrations or a whole website, and then you go on to make 10K a month just like that. The promise is big rewards for low effort and an income that will eclipse your full-time job so that you can quit and never work again. But I want to tell you that it's all nonsense. It actually drives me crazy, these claims of passive income side hustles. I've been working for myself since 2018, and in that time I've tried out a fair few side hustles, and I see false claims made about these again and again online. This video isn't about telling you not to bother with side hustles. You can make money from home with your own business or side hustle. But I want you to understand by the end of this video is that there's a reason for some people selling it as an easy dream. And when you get this, I think you'll find it much easier to pick the right side hustle for you and therefore have a much better chance of success. Starting with the first big lie I see being told about side hustles and passive income, and that is that it's free to get started. It's just not true. Whatever side hustle you start, it takes at least some money, maybe even a small amount, but it takes some money to get started at the beginning. Now look, some you can kick off from day one with very little or no cost. For example, YouTube. You could film your first YouTube video on your smartphone. However, as time goes on and you're trying to increase your subscribers and make better quality videos and edit better quality videos, do better shooting, therefore you're going to have better lighting, you are going to at some point have to put money into the business, because a side hustle that is profitable has to be treated as a business. And more importantly, all side hustles cost you time, and your time is money. And some side hustles will not make you any money at all for months. You could be putting 10 hours of work a week into a side hustle and not see any return for the first 6 to 12 months. That's certainly something that I have found with blogging. If you are able to create a website and write 100 pieces of really good content in the first 6 months while creating pins for Pinterest in order to promote your content, Facebook posts, Twitter posts, building up an Instagram feed, if in those 6 months you are really focused, yes, I think it's reasonable that after those 6 months, you may start to bring in some money, but you're not going to bring in money from day one. And websites cost money to get started with. You have to pay for a domain name and you have to pay regular hosting fees. You also have to pay for certain tools. For example, I pay for Canva Pro in order to do all of my pins and other graphic designs and my thumbnails for YouTube. Now, I make good money from blogging now. However, I have invested a lot of my time and money as well into building up my blogs. With Etsy, I see lots of claims about selling digital products and making thousands from there. Again, it's just not realistic. I mean, for a start, with Etsy, listing something costs you money because the platform charges you a listing fee. But then also the platform is so saturated with digital products that you're probably gonna have to pay for Etsy ads in the beginning in order to start gaining traction with buyers. Speaking of Etsy, I have had a store for over 2 years now, and it has over 20 digital products on there that I designed myself. I've put in time, I've spent money on graphics in order to make really nice looking products, I've paid for ads on Etsy. This is how much I've made. It's not 10K a month. Now look, I'll be honest, I'm the first one to say my Etsy shop is not a good example of a great Etsy shop. I have put a lot of time into it, but I don't put enough time into it. The people that do really well on Etsy are the people that are working on their store every single day. Now, yeah, it can be classified as a side hustle because I think it's reasonable to expect that if you put a lot of time into Etsy at the beginning and then maybe just put in an hour or two a day, I think you could have some success, some regular success with selling on Etsy. I don't think you're going to make 10K a month necessarily, but I think it's reasonable to expect some success as long as you're putting time in. That leads me nicely on to my next lie about side hustles, which is that it's easy. It's not easy. It takes time and effort to make a side hustle work. You cannot just set up an online shop or a website offering consultancy services and just expect your customers to find you on day one and start buying your products or start buying your services. It takes time to reach customers in the first place, and then even more time to scale the business to a point where you're making a decent profit. And with some side hustles, the opportunity for scale simply won't be there, or it will be just so insane, the amount of product that you'll have to shift, it's just not realistic. Prime example of that is print on demand. Now, I haven't dipped my toe into the world of print on demand, but as someone who is very interested in side hustles, very interested in learning about different ways for people to work from home, I have a whole website dedicated all about that. I have looked at a lot of print-on-demand advice from genuine print-on-demand side hustlers, people who are actually making money from this. The key takeaway from them is that these claims that you can just use AI in order to generate some images, illustrations, or slogans and then stick them on a t-shirt or stick them on a mug and then make 10K a month, it's utterly nonsense. The margins just are not there. You won't be able to sell enough t-shirts with a funny Succession slogans on them on Etsy in order to make 10K a month. It's just not going to happen. Another one I see talked about a lot is selling colouring books, where the images have been generated using AI, such as Midjourney. But you only have to take a quick glance around the internet to see that customers are getting tired of AI-generated colouring books. AI is great, but it's not quite there yet in terms of the quality of the images that it's generating. It cannot do hands properly. The hands on AI-generated images just look utterly ridiculous. Say you ask it to generate a dinosaur colouring book for kids, it will come up with dinosaurs that don't even exist, ones with like unicorn horns and 10 legs and all that kind of stuff. And if customers leave a bad review, you are not going to be able to sell enough colouring books to make that dream profit that is being promised by some of these finance gurus online. Another side hustle I see finance gurus label as easy is YouTube. Your first video is not going to get you 1 million views and immediately monetize your channel, unless you're a Kardashian. It can take months or years to build enough of an audience on YouTube to make a proper income out of it. We're not even talking about 10K a month. We're just talking about, say, a few $100s. Let's just take a look at what I made on YouTube in May. So I made a video a week and a couple of shorts, and I made a grand total of $921.45. And look, I'm happy with that. I spend 1 day a week creating content for my YouTube channel. I think that is a reasonable return. However, I have been on YouTube for years and I have not been making that kind of money for years. I've only been making that kind of money in the last 5 to 6 months. The next lie is the big one, and that's that they are passive income. I have not yet come across a side hustle that you can start and literally do nothing at the start, do nothing in the middle, do nothing at the end, and it just keeps on generating you money. It just doesn't happen. All of them require at least some effort from you in the beginning to get them started. Everything from, say, making money from an Airbnb. You can't just like decide, I'm gonna make money from an Airbnb. You gotta find an Airbnb, you've got to kit it out, you've got to make it look nice, you've got to manage the people that are coming in and going out again. It's not a zero effort side hustle. When I see people calling Etsy passive income, it just drives me insane, because I can see the amount of effort that the Etsy sellers that do really well, the ones that are making thousands and thousands every single month, I can see the amount of effort that they are putting in to creating new products, to improving their listings. They have to be on hand in order to answer questions from customers. Just this week, I've had a couple of emails from customers that I have had to answer. That is not passive income. I'm having to do work, I'm having to speak to customers, I'm having to update listings, I'm having to make sure that the shop is running well, I'm having to get online and pay the fees, the monthly fees for my Etsy listings. So it's not passive income. And another area I have a lot of experience in is making money on social media, such as Instagram and on TikTok. To be honest with you, these days, a lot of the people that I see saying that they're making a lot of money on social media and gaining tons of followers on social media are the people teaching people how to make money on social media. They usually have a course or a membership that they are selling, which teaches you all about the path in order to become a social media influencer or how to sell products online. Or they might sell courses about how to do affiliate marketing on TikTok or on Instagram. So this is where basically you share affiliate links, and if people click through your affiliate links and make a purchase, then you'll get a little commission from the sale. These people boast of their success and how much money they're making, sometimes before they've even made very much money at all, and then they get more followers and then they make more money, and it's just a cycle. You get more followers and more money, and so the cycle of selling the dream of making money on social media continues. But again, the reality is that isn't really passive income. Yeah, at some point they will go to sleep, and if you have proper automations in place, then you can continue to make sales in your sleep. But you wouldn't call it passive income, because when you wake up in the morning, you've got to be on it, creating new content, making sure that your automations are working, replying to customer messages to ensure that your income stream remains steady. It takes a ton of time to create this content, that sells enough products at scale on social media in order to make a really, really good living, like the kind of living that some of these finance gurus are boasting of having. And the final lie that I see again and again about side hustles and passive income is that you will be a millionaire. A lot of this finance guru or finance bro content is accompanied by people who show off their very, very nice lifestyle. You know, normally they've got a supercar, or they're saying that they spend most of their year traveling. Or they might say that they only spend an hour a day working and the rest of the time they're just chilling out doing whatever they want. As I've shown in this video, I'm doing a lot of the side hustles that these finance gurus talk about, and I am not a millionaire. And I'm also a member of communities of people doing these side hustles, some of them doing way, way better than me at it. But they're not millionaires either. Making money online is not the easy get rich quick scheme that some people claim. And there can be huge setbacks. It used to be in the blogging world that you could start a website, make sure that it was fully optimized for Google, and you could start getting traffic within about 6 to 9 months, and then you could monetize that and make pretty good money. I would say it was totally feasible to start a website in January and be making about 1K a month by the end of the year, maybe even 2 or 3K. But Google has made massive changes to its search algorithm in the last year. I'm not going to bore you with all the technical details of that, but it means that a lot of blogging gurus who were selling the dream of making easy money with Google search are now pivoting to selling the dream of making easy money blogging using Pinterest and Facebook. Don't get me wrong, there's still money to be made. But it ain't passive, it ain't easy, and it ain't free. So why do these lies get told? It's because easy money promises make money. It's a business in itself. For some people, the business is selling the idea of a side hustle and the amazing lifestyle that comes with that. Their fortune comes from telling you how to make a fortune. They have sponsorships with print-on-demand companies or dropshipping companies. That means that they make money when they tell you that it's easy to use these companies to make money. They know thumbnails on YouTube that promise thousands for very little effort get a lot of clicks. It's like this other side hustle that I'm into as well, Substack. Now, I love my Substack newsletter where I talk a lot about the news. I really, really enjoy it. However, it's not a huge earner for me at all. It's really more of a passion project for me. What I've noticed from being on Substack a lot over the last 9 months or so is that in the notes feed, which is basically like the Twitter section of Substack, the notes that are shown the most are the ones that are about how to make money on Substack, how to be a successful Substack writer. There is a whole business model that is powered just by selling the idea of making easy money online. What makes it even worse for me is that some of these videos that I see on like YouTube and TikTok, they're talking about this way of making money, say like Etsy or print on demand, but they don't show screenshots of their actual shop analytics. Like, they don't have to show us everything, just like maybe sort of show us how many orders you're getting or something like that. And I think it's because a lot of them, they're not actually doing the thing that they're talking about. They've done a little bit of research online and then they're just presenting it as if they know what it is to actually do it. So if anyone tries to sell you this idea that it's really easy to make money on a particular platform like Etsy or with print on demand or on YouTube, don't forget to look for receipts. Like, if they're making good money, they should be happy with at least giving you some kind of insight into how well they're doing. They don't have to give you access to their full analytics, but a screenshot giving some indication of how well they're doing would prove that yes, they do know what they're talking about. And for people that don't provide you with that, I would take everything that they say with a massive pinch of salt. If you do want to start a successful side hustle, then good for you, go for it. This video is not intended to put you off at all. What I recommend is that you choose something that you're really interested in, something that you're interested enough in that you're going to be happy to invest the time into building it. And then the absolute best thing you can do to be a success is to join communities on places like Facebook and on Reddit, free communities that don't cost you anything to join, where there are people already making money doing the thing that you want to start making money in. And that way you can become familiar with the real problems that you may face, and you can do your best to avoid those pitfalls, and you'll be much more likely to make it a success. I hope you found this useful. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe for lots more making and saving money content from me.